Okay, so this is a continuation of modeling into, I guess this will go over details. So yeah, this will be part, god damn, this will be part 4. Right now this is here is part 3, right? This video was in part 3. Oh no, it wasn't in part 3. It was in actually the project 1 custom video tutorials. Right, the lunchbox set. So these here were kind of different, where I went from start to finish. Not finish, but start to midway through, you know. But they're still extremely valid, where all the processes for each one were nearly identical in terms of the workflow. Like step 1, this is what I do. Step 2, this is what I do. Step 3, this is what I do, right? Each one of them. That's in project 1 custom video tutorials. Now let me go up to the root folder, right? Then I'm going to go into surviving Maya. This one is where they're more split up. You know, part 1, this is resetting the user interface, really important, because I know students will have things happen, and this is the way to fix it. This is the setting up the schematic drawings and photo images. This here is the blocking out shape. Okay. So part 4 is going to be refinement, details, and other stuff other than the blocking out your model's main shape. Okay, so this is where I'm going to stick it here. Maybe I'll just also stick it into the project 1 custom tutorials. Maybe not, anyway. So here it is. This is what we'll get into. I have the lid, right, and it can open and close. And as you can see, there's an interior. There's an interior space. Okay, if I press 1, see that? All right. If I look inside of the shell, there's an interior space as well. Yeah, so it looks nice. You could just imagine it, building it and stuff. And then this stuff still has to be kind of refined, because this is what you call open edges, open faces, more than 4 faces. These have to be made into either triangles or quads, 4-sided shapes, which is they're fairly easy. They're required for, like, say, games in general, and for like smoothing your object, and for what we call texture mapping, because this will cause stretching, where when you do the projection, the image will skew and stretch potentially a lot, or yeah, it's just something you kind of want like that. Yeah, so this part looks pretty darn good, and as a matter of fact, I'll just I'll just have it like this, and I'll give you the file, and then from there you can just model the touch up these, and you can just touch up these, right? Maybe just add a couple of edge loops, and yeah, we can do that. How's that sound? Just kidding. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, but we have to model all of it. Yeah, sorry, I'm a jerk. But yeah, we have to do all of this stuff. Again, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. So we will be detaching it. So that's separate pieces and separate pieces. Okay, and then we'll touch up on this and that, and we'll also touch up here and here, and we will also make the shell. Right, the shell, which is super easy. Well, should be super easy. Should be. If we look inside, right, you see that we have the underlip too. See the underlip right here, right here. I'm turning. You can see the underlip. Everything that we were doing from previously. Right, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Alright, so here we are back again. And this is before it got detached. Right? This is still a one complete model. And I'm going to show how to detach things. Okay, so spacebar, and I'm going to look here. I need to be in my faces mode. So I'm gonna just right click on top of the object. The object's either it's lines, right? Or it's shaded view. Or like this too, hit face. And I wanna detach the lid. Spacebar, front. Well, from the outside, I'm gonna marquee drag and just only select up to here. Alright, up to here. Let go now. Spacebar, spacebar. Let me see what I did. And it looks like I got almost everything, right? Except for down here. See that? I need that, right? Because I want to detach that chunk, including that lip. So I'm gonna go back here, and so you saw me do this, right? And again, that's not enough because of that down here. If I zoom in, this is that underlip. So what I'm gonna do is all the way across and down to here. So I encompass everything. See, again, from here all the way like that up to here. But if I spacebar and I spacebar, you'll notice, press F to frame it. You'll notice how I got this stuff. This here, this I don't need. I can't have that, right? So I'm gonna go back to here. I'm gonna hold down Control. From the outside, you'll notice that from here, the cursor has a minus sign on it. That means I'm gonna deselect, right? So just like in Photoshop, from the outside, I'm gonna left click and drag. They call this a marquee, marquee square or selection. Photoshop has something very similar too. I'm gonna stretch it only up to here, right there, and let go. When I do that, press Q to hide that arrow. You notice I only grab these. I only grab that, only exactly what I need. That's how I quick select that. Alright, then I'm going to introduce a new tool. Press Q, I don't want that. Alright, I'm going to go to hold on one second. Okay, so edit mesh and detach. No, extract. Edit mesh, extract. Right. I'm gonna screenshot this. Hold on one second. Okay, so edit mesh, extract. Okay. It says here poly chip off 1, all this stuff. Leave it up, leave it alone. Just press W to get out of that tool. Alright, so wireframe unshaded so I can see it. Now, from here, you'll notice that the model will look like this, right? It made a group. It made a group because it turned your bottom thing, your bottom polygon into one thing, your top one into another thing. Okay, so we have to name it. I'll name it lunchbox main body. This one, lunchbox lid. Okay, then you got all this stuff, this, and this. What this one? That's probably a copy of mine. Let me see what that is. Right. So yeah, I don't need this. Okay, so I delete that other one. So this here, right? But I want these things to be cleaned up in a sense where when I grab the group, right, that was made, it has data in here. Measurement data, like in terms of position in the 3D world. Okay. And this one, these have history data that we did. This one is the transform. I'm not exactly sure how to explain this, but it's stuff that will mess up your model when you try to do things. For example, If I try to grab the lid, I do this to rotate, look what it does. It does something where it has to do with the transform, the data in here, and it's conflicting with what I'm doing to this, double transform, things like that. So basically highlight all that, go to edit, delete by type, history. Okay, we wiped out the history, right? And go to modify, freeze transformations. Oh shit, maybe that was a bad idea, right? So I deleted the history. All right, on the top level, I'm gonna go modify, freeze transform. Good, good, good. Right, so basically, when you freeze transform like I just showed you, just grab top of the group, right? Because these guys are piggybacking off of him, the group. Grab the group, go to modify, freeze transform. Right? Previously before that, I grabbed everything and I went edit, delete by type, history. Which now there's nothing in here, nothing in here. Okay? So that's the procedure for that. That has to be done. Now I'm just gonna select him and him. And should I just leave it in here? I mean, it's okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it in there. Right. So that's the procedure for that. Right. Now, next part I'm gonna do how to create a shell. Because right now, if you were to try to rotate it, you look inside, you see how it's all dark? It's just a one layer, right? There's no underside, there's no under layer skin, it's just one-sided. So I'm gonna show how to do that. Okay, so from here, all right, time to clean up some of these lines. First thing what I'm gonna do is, before I do that line cleanup, connecting these open-ended faces, because to be a correct face, it needs to have only 4 sides, maybe 3, triangle. Just the proper workflow, especially in games, and in general when you smooth it to make it look nice and polished. Alright, so as you can see, when I press 3, which is the poly smooth, the smooth proxy, right, it does this. Right, if you know, let's say that I only add a color to it, but if I want to add, say for example, textures, I would need it to be sectioned off, meaning what's the word, to create lines in here that will make for good, what we call a UV mapping, right, like a projection. So it's just better for me to show ahead of time instead of just talking. But that's the other purpose of this additional thing I'm doing. Overall, it's not hard. So I select it, I hold down shift, I also hold down the right mouse button as well, and extrude. Oh, shoot, no. I gotta select the face. I'm gonna carefully select this face, this, and this. Press 4. Okay, make sure I didn't select other faces. Now I hold down shift, I hold down my right mouse button as well, extrude face. This pops up. And I'll work with the offset. Maybe what, 0.2. See, I'm coming in here. You notice it's on the flat surface. It's making a footprint. We call it a footprint. Maybe 1.3. And I'll explain why I'm doing this. Right. And I'm just looking at the spacing. So this much spacing versus this much spacing. Right, and it's perfectly flat, right? Maybe 0.4. Main thing is not to make it too tight. From there, I just press W to get out of the tool. Press 3. Right, so you know, one could think, what's the big deal? It looks the same. But again, there's a reason why I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I'm looking at here, right? Oh, look at that. It goes in. Yeah, look at that. See, totally forgot about that. It dents in. See for here? It dents in. Right there, you see? I have to make this part right there. I need to make that indentation, because I need to have that indentation because you want to put your own little poster in here, you know, your own favorite cartoon poster. Yeah. So okay, let me think. Okay, so I'm gonna make it so that to have a outline where I have this much distance, outline having this much distance, and I'll explain what I mean by outline. Basically, a footprint here that goes all the way around, right? And then from there, after I make that footprint, I'm going to do another extrude to push down. So far I have this much, right? And I'm gonna make use of that extrusion that I just did. I'm gonna press this here. This is to bring back my extrude floating window. Boom. Right there. Okay. Alright, so here we are. And like I said, you select your object, click that, and your menu pops up. Alright, so I'm gonna think about in consideration starting from here, right, up to this much, where I want that footprint spacing, right? So instead of offset 0.5, I'll make it 0.1. Maybe is that enough? 0.6, 0.7, maybe 0.8. Yeah, 0.8 maybe. Yeah, I could do like 0.7. Then I'll do one more. There's a reason why. There's something called the rule of three, you know, and I'll show some more regarding that. So this is 1, 2. I'm gonna make a third one like that. So from here, I'm gonna just click outside. I'm gonna reselect it. I'm gonna open this lunchbox, and just the lid. Right click, face. Select. Press 4. Press 5. Shift, right click, extrude, and do another offset, 0.1. That's 0.1 is too tight. 0.5, ooh, that's too much. 0.4, 0.3, 0.2. Right. So I'm just considering the spacing, bigger spacing. Maybe what, 0.25. The numbers is whatever to me. I just want this spacing. Short, long, short. So this will be my perceived distance. And then from there, I'm going to extrude down. So I have my faces still selected. So if I just pull down now, look what happens, right? You see how, sure, it went down, but it didn't go straight down. It kind of went down like this, right? And I want to keep 1, 2, 3. 3 sections like this before I do a push down. Shift, so I'm gonna go shift right click, extrude face, because I still have those faces selected, right? Now it kind of slightly shifted. Then from there, I could just I could do trans thickness. There's thickness where you can push down, or you can do local translate that pushes down. So they seem the same, but this may or may not be the perfect, it's not the right example, but The whole point is that thickness in situations it will do a perfect either extrusion going in or out, but local translate it may do your extrusion where there's gonna be some wobbly lines, like not perfectly straight lines. You'll see they seem similar, but yeah, thickness is the one to go for if you want perfectly straight lines going in and out, going like straight down or straight up, things along those nature. One way to best explain it is for you to try it out between the two to see the difference. In this circumstance, it does not matter, but in other circumstances, it definitely does matter. Anyway, so I went pushing down, okay? Now I'm gonna define how much down it goes. I'm just looking at my reference, it's not that deep. See? Not that deep at all. So this is too deep. So I'm gonna just see, I just pull on this, right? So around there maybe is good. Maybe like that. You know, I'm just making my best judgment call. Like that, see? Everything's coming to life. Right? And then from there, yeah, it looks like I'm gonna select it again, and I'm gonna click on this guy right here to bring it back, right? And it looks like it's not a perfectly straight down, you know, because it looks like these things are mass produced, and the molding that's made out of or whatever how they make it, it's not perfectly straight down, you know. It's not like automobile design where everything is perfect. So with all that being said, let's mess around with this thing called an offset. So if I put 0.1, see what that did? Kind of tapers in, looks more natural, like you know, cheap manufacturing process, like that. That's what I kind of want to do. Maybe what 0.2, so you get that. You know, it's a good exercise, and using these other options, right? So I'm kind of happy about that. Then, if I press 3, you'll notice how it looks nothing like that, you know? So, you know, to follow the rule regarding, again, the rule of 3, which is, this will be a perfect example. I'm gonna just select again. I'm gonna go right click faces, right? Just select that, that, and that, and that again. Because before I was in object mode, you know, with the green lines. Just make sure I know what I have selected. From there, press W, and I'm going to do another extrude. Because if you try to just press that, it's nothing. That's why I'm going to do another extrude. It's another function altogether. So shift right click, extrude face, right? I'm going to use my offset, right, to 0.1, 0.5, 0.3, 2, right, 0.2, maybe 0.3. The reason why I'm doing this is that it's gonna maintain the shape. Press F to frame it better because it's acting up again, the camera. See this here? Now that I have this, right, 1, 2, 3, that's one concept of the rule of 3. And then I have one over here. This line and this line, it will help to keep the rigidity of the shape. So if I press 3, zoom out, you see how nice of a little transition it makes? That's what I mean by it. I'm gonna Alt 5 to get rid of the lines, see? And that's why I did that. And you have your nearly done with your this cute little lunchbox, this retro lunchbox. And then for example, when I say the rule of 3, here's a prime example. Let's say I want to keep this surface, right? If I press 3, It looks like that, which is kind of what I want. But let's say if I want it more rigid. So I'm gonna go shift, right click and hold, insert edge loop, right? Previously we used extrusion. Now I'm gonna go back to insert edge loop. And I have the line, my tool activated. So rule of three, one section here, right? And one here. Watch, if I put, and it's not always have to be a certain way. Like I could just put one right here, and look what that will do for us. Right? Press W to get out of it. I'm gonna go right click and hold and go to object mode. Select it, press 3. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's more firmer. Right? So for example, just to clarify better, right? So this here, I can select this poly split ring. This basically means that this is the edge loop that I did. And the 10 means I did a total of 10 edge loops. Right? And this here is poly extrude face 10, which tells me there were 9 previous extrusions that I did before. Anyhow, I'm going to select the poly split ring and the weight, right? Let's say this is the weight. This is the only thing you need to look at regarding the edge loop to manipulate the placement after you already placed it. So let's say 0.8. Watch what happens. Way down there. Say 0.9. Way down there. Let's see what that does. It makes for a very, see, super tight, right? Versus, I'm gonna go 0.5, which is a halfway mark. And you see? Versus 0.1, right? Which is right here. And I zoom out, you get super sharp, right? More like super accurate, for example, this would be more in tune with, say, modeling a car or something that requires, extreme precision, like CNC machining and CAD precision. But this is just a lunchbox. So, let's say I did that, right? Rule of 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But this one, 1, 2. So I'm going to show the rule of 3 again. Select it just to show the example. Shift right click and hold, insert edge loop. Put it right here. Right? Hold right mouse button, object mode, get out of it, press 3. As you can see, very tight. Right? For precision, modeling, realistic, industrial design. Again, that is the rule of 3. 1, 2, right? 3. And then 1, 2. Well, technically it's 1, 2, and a 3. Right? But then it gets too much, that's just crazy. But 1 and 2, 1, hide that, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. But then, but the really OCD method is shift right click and hold and insert edge loop. This is truly 3. 1, 2, 3. And down here, no, wait. Down here is truly 3. For example, 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. See? 1, 2, 3. Like that. That's truly 3. And then 1 over here going across. But it's not good to do this all the time. It turns into a really bad habit where you're just putting the rule of 3 all over the place. For example, 1, 2, 3. right? Then over here 1 and 2. You know, so you know, if you have kind of an OCD personality, you just start putting it all over the place and it becomes too much, and like this is too much. But technically this is how you're supposed to do it, but in our case, hold on, let me get rid of that. Undo, yeah, there we go. Right in the middle is fine. Press 3, because this is the look we want. This is the look we want. Just 1, just to maintain the shape just enough. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm thinking about, you know, ahead of time, our little surface area to put our billboard of our cute cartoon series 1980s, right? See, right here, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at right here, right here, that spacing, right, to give that real estate. Right, I'm just zooming out. Alt 5, I need Alt 5. Okay, so this much spacing is good, right? Everything will make sense when I get into UV mapping. It will make sense. Right now I'm just talking. So I like this much distance right here, right? This much spacing, because this is here is where I'm gonna have the UV map to save the real estate, to project and put your illustration. So, and then when I press 3, ooh, see, this is what I have to watch out for. This is what we have to watch out for. Yeah. So we got this distance is correct. Now I need to refine it so that when you UV project, it's not gonna look like this. So, with all that being said, select. Shift right click and hold, extrude face, let go, and I'm gonna build my margins. So offset 0.2. Yeah, 0.2. Yeah. 0.2. I'm trying to make it right so that if I get it wrong and then you go and UV map it and it gets stretched, chances are the student's gonna get mad at me. So trying to get it right. Avoid problems ahead of time. So here and here, right? Maybe I need one more just to make sure. Because if I do that, right? I'm gonna do one more. So I have it selected, right? If I push or pull, right? That's not what I want. I just want to make another layer of a footprint. Shift right click and hold, extrude face. I did that, right? Watch carefully. Offset 0.1. Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe 0.2. 0.1 is fine. Yeah. Okay, so press 3. When I press 3, it still looks like what's the deal? But as you notice, it's getting cleaner, and then trash. So this is where I'm gonna make my closing the open faces, closing these open-ended faces. So it's either quads or triangles. All right, so that's 22 minutes. What I'm gonna do is, again, you could say this is kind of like rule of 3, because the rule of 3 also matters for UV mapping, so that you avoid this stretching right here. This is gonna cause some potential issues with UV mapping. Projections, like a skin. You want the skin to be nicely, evenly laid out, like you're grafting skin or something like that. Okay, so we have that. I'm gonna start cleaning things up. Alright, so the next tool I want to show is the multi-cut tool. Okay, multi-cut. So shift right click and hold multi-cut. Right? So it looks strange. Very, very strange. Like what is going on here? It's red lines and orange lines and dots and dots. It's an interactive tool. We're trying to find places to connect the dots basically. So I'm gonna connect from this here, right here. I'm gonna zoom in, right? Because this is annoying when it does this, but you just gotta deal with it. Right here, see this line? I'm gonna click on that red line that's asking me if I wanna work with that line, and I'm gonna snap it. See that? You see how the numbers go oscillate? That's saying higher, 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 higher until it terminates. Lower, 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 lower until it terminates. Right now it's at the lowest point. I'm gonna go across at here, right? Connect, terminate, and end. Press W, right? Now if I press 3, you'll notice things are shaping up very nicely. See, this is what I mean by. And then you don't have to go crazy where you make line, line, line. You don't do that. I'll show you what you can do. And other thing too is I do not want to do line across here and then have to do it across here again, you know? So I'm going to do something called symmetry. Now, whatever I do on this side, going like this, I want to do on this side. So the flip side, from here to here, is red. Red is your X axis, this way, like that. So symmetry is off. Click here. I'm going to do object X axis. There's a difference between world and object, but to be safe, object X. The object's X axis, right? From here, okay, shift right click and hold multi-cut tool. See this? And then I'm gonna go right around here-ish. I'm gonna touch that line, then left click, drag it over to its 0. Come on over here, click here, like that. Hit enter, and boom, and watch. See how clean the lines are? Like this looks like, you know, hey, I understand this, right? This I don't understand, which I'll go over how to fix that. There's no manipulation needed. It's just, you know, under the hood over here. You just gotta press a check mark, I think. Press 1, zoom in. I have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Not the best. So what I'm gonna do is zoom in, shift right click and hold multi-cut tool. You see right here? Click, drag, click, drag. Make sure it snaps. Don't like all the way down and just kind of move it a bit. Don't do stuff like that. Make sure it ends and snaps. Then let go, press W. Now press 3. You'll notice a lot cleaner. And that's how I did it. Now for this side, I need to do from here to here. Right, so shift right click and hold multi-cut tool. On this line, left click, drag over, let it snap to it, come on over, and here's that line telling me, hey, oh come on, let me, oh it won't let me. Okay, so some explanation. Since this is symmetry object, right, it only want to go up to here, because I want to go up to here, but you see it won't let me. It has that no little icon, you know, like no smoking icon. It will only let me go up to here, the midpoint. So how do I know where is the midpoint? I really don't know. Is it that? I don't want to make it crooked, so I'm just gonna undo it. Let me just check something. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's fine. So I'm gonna turn off symmetry because I want to cut across completely. Shift right click and hold, multi-cut. Right here, this is good. Left click, drag and snap. Left click, drag and snap, and this is fine. That orange line is fine. And press W to connect it. Right, so now here I'm gonna turn on my Object X back on because whatever I do at this section, I'm gonna do it here. Previously, I turned it off because I wanted to go straight across. Object X. Zoom in carefully. Shift right click and hold, multi-cut. Alright, good. So this should work out nicely because when I say I want to be able to do my projection, right? So click, 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 click. Again, it's clicking on both sides because I have Object X active. See? That's 4. Right? Now I should have. Oh, you know what? See? It's even better. Yeah. This part here is perfect. I'm gonna grab here, here, here. Now I knew this was good to do. Here. And again, rule of 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? The reason why is doing this will guarantee no stretching, anything to deal with. Right? Because I got a perfect placement map. Press 1. Right? Because 3 is my smooth final form that's gonna be the projection for when I render and to show my image. Rather than 1, it's 3. And this, just looking at it, you could tell, hey, this is a nice clean blueprint so you can draw on top of. This little, see that little buffer line I made here? Buffer space, to select that. And it gave me distance between here. Yeah, we're good. Excellent. I'm gonna turn off symmetry, turn it off. Alright, so that's how you do that. Also, that was 31 minutes. Now if you notice, zoom in, press 3. I mean, I'm okay with this, but technically I should put another seam line right around here. Not too tight, but maybe right around here. Technically I should. So shift right click and hold, insert edge loop. So maybe I'll put it transitionally. This will make it too tight, right around here. This down here is kind of like, what's the point in a way? Maybe right around here I'll make it. See? And then if I undo it, okay, so try to remember this line, this shine. Watch. See, you saw that? See? I'm gonna redo it. Oh, it won't let me. Alright, so that's the reason why I'm gonna do that. Shift right click and hold, insert edge loop right around here. Or you know what, maybe, yeah, one over there. Maybe I'll just because I also want to put one here. You know what? I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna lift it up a bit right here. This here is the same thing as when I told you guys to. Oh, anyway, I'm gonna put like 0.7, 0.8, too much. 0.75, something like that. See that? Then I want to put, let me look at my oh, where the hell's my references? If you ever see your reference missing, it's actually Alt 4. Alt 4 will either show it or hide it. Alt 4. So zoom in, I'm going to look here, right? And I'm going to look here. And you notice this is tight. Look at that, that is tight. Right, this is tight. Right, so this, not so tight. Down here, see it? It's kind of gooey. So I'm going to place just like that, shift right click and hold, insert edge loop. And I'm going to place one right here, like that. Maybe a little closer, because I want it to be tight. The closer it is to the edge, the tighter it's going to be. See? Press 3. Don't mind this weird looking thing, it's just a tool kind of wigging out because of I'm still active with the, anyway, whatever. Yeah, I'm out of it now. Alt 5 to get out of that, CC. Very nice. You know, maybe I want it even tighter. So here, poly split ring 12, the one I just made. Maybe, I don't know, 0.15 or 0.2. Well, 0.2 makes it more softer. 0.1, maybe 0.075, make it much more tighter. Press 1. Right, you see how tight that is down here? Press 3. Right, see, that's, yeah, I like that. See that? I want to catch this when I render it. And I want to, right, so it's 35 minutes. So I'm looking here, right? Right here. Okay. Right here. There's that too. But you don't need to really make everything. Press F, zoom in. Yeah, I think this is good. Anything more is going to be just nonsense. Alright, so we did that. And we still got to make the shell. The shell will be super easy too. Alright, so yeah, now I kind of want to make the shell, which will be a nice touch. Right, and then on top of that, there's things like this, and then this little I don't know, inseam or whatever you want to call that. It'll be good to make that. Adds realism. I don't know if I want to make this. You know, it's kind of ugly, but this I can understand. Yeah. So regarding that, and so now I thought I deleted that. Yeah, it's fine. If you have this, it's okay to delete it. Because I talked about freezing the transform, didn't I? I'd say in case, if you see this, wait, modify, freeze transform? Okay, good, nothing happened. Right. Now I'll also delete this. Yeah, so this one I selected the group that's holding everything, and I did freeze transform. It's just good, proper things to do. This, I don't want to explain what that is, just get rid of it. Alright, so from here, let's make the shell. So I'm gonna get, here's another thing I should teach by now is this. But you can end up forgetting, but this thing right here, that will allow you to hide things. Well, when you have this selected and you click that, it hides everything else. So if you got a lot of things going on and you only want to show this, you click on that. See? But you can have a tendency to forget if you have that on. So it's up to you. I've had moments where I forgot. So, or you could just grab this and press H and you'll know it's hidden. So up to you. I want to get rid of this grid, hide it right here. Alright, so I'm looking underneath, right? Press Alt 5 so I can see the wire. Alt 5 again, that is. Now, select it, the whole thing in object mode. Shift right click and hold extrude. Now it looks like total trash, but it's fine. I believe the thickness should be like what, -0.1, right? If you look inside, I'm gonna zoom in, press 1, right? Because 3 is my polished shell, my smooth proxy. 1 is my hard surface, low poly, so you can see. See that? There's your shell. See? Look inside. So maybe I want a little bit of a thicker shell. 0.2. Ooh, 2 is too much. See what it's doing? You have to be a little bit worried now. Maybe -0.15. Yeah, -0.15 looks about right. I want a little bit more. You could just screw around and go like 175 or just 17, -0.17. You know, that looks fine. Press 3. Yeah, and now let's fix this. Yeah, right now, because it's the color, the shading is inverted. So black means you're seeing the underside of the skin, where it's not gonna render or show. So what you do is you go into mesh display, reverse. There you go. Alt 5. Nice, very nice, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. And I'm gonna go here, press H. Press H to hide the lid. Actually, you know what? I guess now it's time to delete history because this is a lot of stuff. And it's not like you can go back in here and make changes too. Well, to an extent you can, but right now it's beyond the point of no return. You gotta go edit, delete by type, history. Alright, grab it, hide it. Now for this. Yeah, this should be fine, right? Should be fine, right? If I do it. Yeah, let's do it then. So I grab it because there's some more modeling that could be done. Just to touch up like here, maybe here, you know. But I don't think that makes a difference in terms of the shell. So shift right click, extrude, thickness. You know, here's a perfect example. Thickness gives you that perfect shell. If you do translate, right? Let's say you pull, right? You do that. And it looks like you're doing the right thing. But in this case, it's supposed to screw up and make like, you know, skewed lines. But right now it looks fine. Because this was supposed to be my example where using local translate versus thickness. But, I mean, it looks fine. So weird. It should do. It should screw up. Oh, here, you see this? I think this is it, where it kind of caves in rather than going straight down. I think that's one of the reasons why. See this right here, this should go straight down, but let me undo that. Okay, and let me do thickness -0.1. Let's see the difference. See, there is the difference right here. See right here, you see that? See how perfectly straight down it is, right? Very precise. But if you're to undo that, press 0 and do it local translate -0.1, and here's my perfect example. It does that. The more you do it, the more evident it's going to start doing its thing. See, it does that, and it does this, skews out and in. So there's my example. So thickness is probably the best precision based 0.01 precision based creating a shell and precision based modeling. -0.1. Right here, there we go. That's too thin. See, -0.2 right here. Yeah. Just looking at it, making sure that there's no crashing in between. Right. See right here, looks like there's some crashing, but it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. See, and then now you got this going on. Select it, mesh display, reverse, Control Alt S for incremental save. And do I like this? I want it to be a little bit thicker. I don't know why. Looks paper thin. Maybe just a little bit more. Select it. Go back into Poly Extrude 7. This here, no Poly Normal, is when I flipped it. Dark color. Underneath that is my extrusion. Go to my thickness. Set it to what? 0.3. There you go. Yeah, this is what I want. Very nice. Very nice. Uh-oh. But you see this. This is a good example. Press F. Alright, so when you see this, I'm going to explain what this is. During the modeling process, I'm going to zoom in and look inside. You'll notice that I have a face in here. Sometimes this happens when forgetting to select a face or something. So again, I'm going to show what this is. It does that. So when you press smooth and then there's a face inside, it wants to squeeze on it and damage it. So press 1. Select that face, hit delete. I deleted it, but it's still there. Select it again because it's two faces within one. Now it's gone. Now if you press 3, it's fine. This here, hard to explain, but I've seen this happen. This is normal. It will do this kind of stuff, and yeah, which I'll show how to fix later. It doesn't have to do with making more lines or deleting things. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so that's 47 minutes. Alright, so from here, I don't like this, where it's doing this weird stuff, right? See, looks weird. I can't define what is what right now. Zoom in, again, with the rule of 3. And I got a lot of space here, so I'm gonna put an edge loop here. Shift right click and hold and insert edge loop. I want a tight one right around here. There's 3. Click outside. There, see? kind of don't want this. I want it to go straight down, but it's doing this. Oh yeah, because the outside is doing this, so it's just following suit. Yeah. And if you, the lunchbox, it doesn't look like that, but I think it's too much trouble to go ahead and make that, but it is noticeable. I mean, it's not hard to fix. Alright, so I brought in another reference of these photo reference series, and if you look closely, it does do something, you know? So I don't know exactly what, but it looks like it pushes out, right? Yeah, it looks like it pushes out. This is why they have that bit of a shading. If I look here, it does push out here, and if I look here, it does, you know, push out like that, but it's more noticeable. So I guess you could keep it, save some time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna experiment and just grab this, and this face. Alright, press 4, making sure I don't press Q to get rid of that. Just looking underneath. Yeah, looks like I grabbed some more stuff. Press H. Press the space bar. Alright, just to make sure, I wanna just hold on Control and drag across. A bit worried. Hope I didn't grab anything. Yeah, I didn't grab anything. Yeah. Press 1. Shift right click and hold, extrude face. Right, I'm gonna make my little footprint to maintain the corner transitions. Offset 0.1, 0.2, 0.5. Right, there we go. Oh. Alright, now I know what happened. Yeah, there's some intersecting lines. See? Yeah, that's what that was. This shouldn't be too hard to fix. And not even worth fixing. Right. So what I'm gonna do is 0.4, 0.35, tight. Tight. Yeah. Alright, so Alt 5. Ooh, that's nasty. What is this? Oh, at least here you can watch what I'm doing. Try to troubleshoot what's happening. Right, see? It's overlapping. Yeah. Not the best thing. Right here. See? Yeah. That's why when you hit that, it's smooth and it just makes this horrible line. God damn. Okay, so I think I should undo that. Okay, where was I? Poly split ring. Which one was poly split ring? Uh-oh. So, okay. Right. I'm at the spot where I put this in. Right, so that means that I'm at the spot before I did the additional things. Yeah, because this is where I just put that. If I undo that, and again, and one more time, and then one more time, and one more time, and then now, okay, so this is where we all left off. Alright, so in this case, yeah, it have to kill this. Yeah, you have to, because when you render that open, it's gonna show and it's gonna look horrible. It's just, yeah, I have to say, ooh, gotta go and carefully select it, because it would be nice to make a product render with it open and not see that. Alright. If you need help with fixing this, let me know. Right here, see? That is horrible. And right here, see? Oh my god. What the hell? Oh yeah, even in here too. Alright, so... there's a way to select all of this. If I go... Alright, so I'm back. And as you can see, I'm showing that there's a lot of interior stuff that are pushing into each other. You see this? You see that? This means that there's a lot of crashing into each other. So it looks like, you know, a person would have to think like, oh, I'm gonna have to select all these faces, and it's a nightmare, right? To go all around and did you select the right ones? Well, this is a good example to show where you can do that and really quickly and not get stressed out. And it's also a good tool to know about quick selections. Basically, so for example, I like these faces, right? These walls, right? Straight down, going straight down. But I don't like it that it's doing this, right? And this, right? And this. I don't like that. And okay, so that's not it. Like those, right? It's horrible. Well, there's a way where you can do this without okay, hold on. Hold on. There's a way to do this without all that stress. So I'm looking here. I don't like these, and I don't like here, right? I want this wall to go straight down. Well, basically, I'm gonna go to edges. Alright, I'm gonna show exactly what I'm gonna do, and this is good to know anyway. So I'm in edges. Right click edge, and I'm gonna go to select, right? And I'm gonna go to convert selection, right? I'm gonna tear this off. Okay, select, convert selection, tear it off. So from here, let's say I select that one edge. I selected that edge, and now I'm gonna go across selecting all of it. And I'll tell you why. To convert selection to this one selection, I'm going to convert it to my edge ring. See? As you can see, it's selected all across. See? All across. So why did I do that? Well, now that I selected edge ring, this will allow me to select the faces that also coincide with it, which would be two faces, right? First you do edge ring, then you do two faces, then delete, right? Then right here, I don't like these. Go to edges mode, select that one edge, right? That's causing that crashing. See that? I'm gonna go to edge ring and then to faces. See this problem and delete. All right, looking inside. Ooh, look at that. A whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. Right? Right here, see? This is no good. I'm gonna go edge, select that ring. So anything in black inside is fine, and it should be. This is not good. Select that edge to edge ring, then two faces, then delete. Right here, this one too. Edge, right? See? This is not good. Here's the outer thing, very nice. Inside, not good. Edge ring. Okay. And then to edge two faces. And then delete. Now I find all my hidden problems. Go to edges, to edge ring, then to faces, and delete. And even down here, this guy right here. Go to edge ring, to faces, delete. That's how you do solid correction work. Okay, and as you can see, it's not that painful, and we can see things better, right? So now I'm gonna do edge mode, and I'm gonna make first save it as incremental save. Control Alt S. I'm gonna double click, right? Double click that edge. I'm gonna bring this down to here, and this is another tool function I'm gonna show. I'm just gonna show where I am, and then okay, so that's the termination point. So I'm gonna put it right here. Right? Q to hide that. Right. So press 4. I'm just looking where it's gonna terminate. Right. This much distance. This looks so much more normal. Right. So from here, maybe I'll just pull it down a bit more. Okay, there, we're fine. Alt 5. Now I'm gonna just fill in this hole. No? How am I gonna fill in this hole? Well, all I need to do is go to mesh, fill hole. Boom. And then go to edges. I'll double click that and double click that. I kind of want to wipe this out just to be safe. Shift right click, delete edge. Do not press the delete button. It will leave things behind. So, alright, so that's nice and clean, and I know what I'm looking at now. So now I can just clean this up. Go to face, shift right click, extrude face. I'm going to do my trusty offset, 0.1, 0.5, 0.3, 0.2, right? All right. And then I'm going to do another one. Or you know what though? Alright, so it's already been 1 hour. I'm going to go in here and do an edge loop here. Shift right click and hold, insert edge loop, pop one right there. Nice. See? Design wise, this is way better. Yeah. Yeah. Because that little error would have ruined this really good project. Yeah, see? Even visually, it reads well. If this was a commercial or something, they would have had you correct that. Oh yeah, I mean if it was a close up in here too. All right, good. That was good. So that was good lessons, tools, extra tools that was good to share. And kind of want to touch this up. Shift right click, insert edge loop, top one right in the middle. Right there, see? Again, that was right here. I added edge loop. Alright, good. Well, I want to add one right there too. Shift right click, insert edge loop. Right, that one right there, and that one right here. See? Very nice. Oh, god damn, get rid of that. Very, very nice. And bring this back. Yeah, this looks nice. Imagine putting textures on this and adding little dents, you know, and maybe you can put a food prop. Maybe I'll find something off the internet. You can dump it in there as a food prop or something. Do a render. It look very nice. There's a lot of good tools covered. Kind of long though. Maybe I'll just put it inside back into the retro lunchbox section and not into the other one. Alright, so I think the next one, there's some more refinement needed, and also adding little things like knickknacks, like the handle for sure is needed, and this, and this, and this. And if you're done with this, maybe you can try to attempt to model the canister, juice canister, instead of going after this. This one you would need another tool to make it bend like that, and it will bend super easy without any headache. These little latches, they're not too hard to make. If you want, you could try to attempt that. Shouldn't be too bad. It's just basically a rectangle and just a couple of moves. Yeah, so I think this should keep you busy. Right. Ooh. 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 What the? Alright. This, I'll show how to fix after. I know what this is, but don't worry if you see that. But for sure this needs to be... Yeah. It's not too bad. It's easy to fix. Okay, bye.